Have you ever wondered how the submissions come to play in a mixed martial arts match? Well, tonight we're going to take you to the gym and let Valerie and Stephanie demonstrate for you 3 amazing and very common submission strategies: the triangle choke, the armbar, and the guillotine. You don't want to miss this as you learn at home how these techniques come into play. Hey everybody, welcome to Tampa Combat. I'm Benjamin Glossop, your host with XPTV Sports and the Battle of Tampa. I'm a former professional fighter and a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under David Vieira. And today I have 2 of my favorite people with me, Stef and Valerie. And we're going to work on some traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques that are very common in the mixed martial arts game. The first technique that we're going to do is the triangle choke. Now I want to remind you at home, we're going to show you guys this in the most basic format. If you want to learn the absolute proper techniques, extra tricks, and extra angles, you want to go to a gym in your area with a qualified coach and full of great fighters and good training. We're going to keep it simple so you guys can kind of get an idea of what these techniques look like and how they come about in the fight game, and you'll probably see some of them on tonight's event. All right, so let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to work on is the triangle choke. All right, I'm going to demonstrate the technique, and then we're going to let these girls walk through it for their first time ever. All right? Steph's going to come into my position. This position is called the guard. It's a very good ground and pound position. I'm in a dangerous spot with her striking ability, but she's in a more dangerous spot because I have a lot more options from her. Steph's options: 1, punch me, or 2, pass my guard. Okay? I can sweep, submit, pass, punch, and work, work, work. Alright, so what she's going to try to do is put some damage on me, and hopefully she makes a mistake and I can capitalize and use the triangle choke. So what we're working on here is I've got the guard, she's throwing some punches, and I'm able to defend the punches and work, okay? So she's going to base one hand on my stomach and punch, or try to have, some posture built up. And she's going to make the mistake of reaching behind and trying to separate my legs apart. She's going to break the guard the wrong way. When she does that, my legs are going to open up. I'm going to pull her body in, extend my hips up and over, grab my shin, base for a nice controlled pivot, and lock my right foot under my knee pit. All right? Once I have her arm across my body and I've created the proper angle, I'm going to come up and either grab her head or grab behind my knee and squeeze. Once I squeeze, she's going to tap. She's going to feel the pressure. She either taps out or she falls asleep. Tap or nap. All right? So let's let her try that technique with Valerie. Woo! Straight to the mistake. And that's where people will try to reach behind and separate the legs apart, right? So when she does that, this is where you're going to throw that leg because the arm's in. You're going to put your butt up in the air and try to catch.
Grab her.
Pull her down. You're going to take this arm and you want to bring it across your body.
And then hook.
Now you want this shin, it's going to be really important, that it goes across her shoulders, the same direction my arm is. So you want to create that angle.
Sorry.
Good. Good. Okay, now if you need to, you'll pivot your body a little bit. You got me when I turned on you a little bit? Okay, now this leg's going to come up, and you're going to try to get this foot in your knee pit. What? So pull the shin down. Good. Now you push that down, and you're going to squeeze, put one hand around right here, and one hand right here on top of each other, and you're going to squeeze your knees together as tight as you can and go, and then see if that can get her to choke. You feeling any pressure?
A little bit. My boobs hurt.
I'm
like, oh my god, they're squishing.
So the one thing that you're going to want to do is when you shoot the leg up, instead of having your leg at an angle like this, you want to try to turn it to where it's flat like that.
Okay.
Yeah, flat across your back. So you can see it. Come here, Val. So I'll try not to smash your boobs. So go into the guard here. So when your leg is coming up, I'm going to just go on this side. So when this leg's coming up, see how I'm going across. Okay. So I'm not here. See how it's hard to reach?
Yeah.
But if I get in all the way across flat, and then that's going to be the choke. You feel the choke?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay?
And I got a neck pop.
Oh. So make sure if you guys feel too tight or too... We've got Steph and Valerie, and this is the way the triangle choke goes down. We're going to have Steph perform the choke first, and then we'll let Valerie repay the favor in just a moment. All right? So Steph's going to lay back on her back. Val's going to scoot in and go into the guard position. From the guard position, Valerie's working one of the 2 golden rules: punch or pass. All right? She's going to make the mistake of trying to reach behind. she's going to punch. She reaches behind, tried to break the legs apart, and Stephanie is going to control this arm to keep that arm straight across. Good, now she's going to shoot her hips up in the air, right? And create the angle that allows that shin to go all the way across. Feeds the foot into the knee pit, nice and tight right there. Now she's going to work and she's going to squeeze her knees together as hard as she can, pull the head down, and it's going to force Valerie to tap out. If Valerie doesn't tap, one of two things will happen. The referee will stop it for some crazy reason, but this is generally a position where you either fall asleep or you tap out. And that was pretty good exercise. We've worked the technique and they kind of have a basic idea. Let's put them to the test and see if they can do it in more real time. So, steps back in the guard. Valerie enters the guard. She's going to work some ground and pound. Let's see what happens. Okay? She traps the arm. Valerie feels like this is my opportunity to try to reach behind and break the legs apart. One of the biggest no-nos ever in grappling, so breaks it apart. All right, Stephanie's going to shoot the hips up. She catches the triangle. Left hand can come up and pull that shin down. Remember, you want to have right in here. There you go.
That's hard.
Good. It is hard. And there we go. Of course, first time ever, we're going to see a couple of things that may not be quite as technical as what the pros do. But what's important here is realizing the setup. Stephanie finds the right setup. She gets her in a troubled situation, and she basically has to fight, punching the ribs, and scramble to get out of it. Not a bad job for your first time ever.
Thanks.
All right? It's already been brought.
It's already been brought.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, guys, so now we're changing the angles and changing the role. We've got Valerie is in the guard, or has the guard position, and Steph is in the guard working some good body blows, ground and pound. Okay, Valerie's going to try to control one of the arms, pull it across. Whoa, she's aggressive. All right, I like that. Now, Steph's going to try to posture up a little bit. Feeling the trouble, she's going to make the mistake of trying to separate the arm. Valerie throws the hip up. She brings this knee straight across, and then what we're going to try to do is get her to go in the armpit. You can pull that, help pull that down. Good. All right, now your hands are going to separate and grab your knee together. Because once you have that arm across, you don't need to control it anymore. Pull that down, squeeze your knees together, and finish the choke. And hopefully she's going to tap out. Very good. All right.
Nice. I like how you did that. You're like, come here. I'm like, okay. Good stuff.
Now, one of the most important things in jiu-jitsu is the angle. Creating angles gives you the ability to have a submission go tighter or have a position go in a more proper context. So when you do a triangle choke from straight at each other like a letter I, it's a little bit harder to get the knee and the legs in the right place. Okay, so staying right there. If I triangle choke somebody like this from straight on, I might end up in this very loose on the calf or in an X position. What I want to do is create this angle that gets my shin straight across. Now it reaches a whole lot easier. So see, now I'm on an angle where I'm almost forcing a letter T or a plus sign with our bodies versus being straight on. So, all right, so let's try one more. See if you have the idea in more real time, okay?
Yeah. I'm going to grab the ends. Okay. And then
Yeah.
you're going to quick.
So you want to reach in the middle. So you're
Right
trying to
here?
break the legs apart
Oh,
because that's
okay.
going to give her a direct shot up and over. Boom, now turn your head and get flat right there. That's it. Squeeze as tight as you can. You feel the pressure?
A little.
Okay, keep squeezing.
I'm trying not to squeeze too hard.
Squeeze. Squeeze her tight. She'll tap. That's it.
I'm like, okay.
So that's what you want, is you want that reality if she's actually making you tap so that they can see at home like, okay, maybe not the best technique in the world because you've done 2 in your life,
Yeah.
but you've done it well enough to make her want to tap out. So that was good. And
that's
what'll be good for you
cool.
is tap the body so they can hear it and see it. Yeah,
Wanna wrestle?
when she feels it,
Wrestle.
the referee knows to stop it, or in a grappling tournament. Okay? And I'm going to come into the guard, boom, and then you're going to trap the guards. Boom. So now we're fighting from the guard. I knocked you down, but I ended up in your guard. Steph was able to get a knockdown on Valerie, and now just before the guard happens, it's kind of one of those situations of Steph could go anywhere. Side control, mount. She's going to end up here going right into the guard. So let's see it happen. All right, here's the attack. She chooses to go right in for the guard ground and pound. All right, and Val is taking the punches. She wants to trap the arm. Okay, Steph is going to make that horrible mistake of reaching behind and trying to separate. And that's where Valerie is going to come up and strap on the triangle choke. She's got the legs formed as a triangle. She's squeezing really tightly, and the fight is over.
That was awesome. She's like, okay.
Okay, so we're back in fight mode. Steph's down on the ground. She got knocked down. She slipped, tripped, whatever happened. And Val is going in for the attack. So now she's going to approach. She chooses to go right up the middle for the ground and pound. And Steph goes into the guard position. She's going to trap the arm, feeling the pressure. Oh, she sets it up right away, traps it out. So what you need to do is grab your shin, pull that in, because remember, you're going all the way down. Okay? The tighter this is into the knee pit, the better. Okay? You want this arm across, hold that arm down. Okay, get it across. Now you're going to grab the head and you're going to squeeze. Right here, we're going to have a little bit of trouble finishing the submission because of the angle. So let's take it to another level. Right here, keep everything tight where it was. You're going to take this hand and underhook right there. Underhook her leg and turn your body, help it to pull your body sideways. This is going to allow you to grab your shin, pull that technique across. Now feel how tight that is.
Whoa, wow, yeah, that was very different.
Now
Sorry,
you're
Val.
going to squeeze and you're going to
Pretty little face in
right here and squeeze and get her to tap. Good, okay, that's good. So a lot of times in the fight game, your submissions don't work on the first attempt. You need to adjust, and readjust again. That was a great example of having awesome control on Steph's part, but she needed to readjust her position to sync the technique a little bit better and make the choke a whole lot tighter.